Folks, what the crap's going on? Heir of Salt here, or I should say the Salt Dragon, the Heir of Cathay, rather. We're going to continue the legendary Grand Cathay campaign. We had a good run there against some Chaos forces, raise their settlement, and then return to the Turtle Gate where we can start paying less upkeep. So you guys can see how much difference that building makes. It's saving me about 1,800 gold per turn, roughly, maybe a hair under. We are getting closer to being able to try and ambush the Skaven forces here, so I'm going to push up on them. Try and stay hidden. They'll probably see me, though. But if we can knock out those Skaven forces, honestly, I'm going to have to go ahead and just push west. And we're going to have to go engage Grimgor before he ends up in our lands and ends up being pretty much unstoppable. It looks like that our good friend Greasus was too busy stuffing his gut rather than getting his military forces. And honestly, the ogres ought to perform pretty good against the greenskins. So kind of sad to see that they haven't been. Just in terms of troops, like if you stack up enough of the ogres, they ought to be a pretty good threat. It looks like Brother has suffered some losses to the Skaven here too, so we've got issues. We don't want the Iron Dragon to fall to the Skaven, so we've got to put some pressure. What was that agreement, by the way, that they had there?
I am open to assisting
the military alliance. They're not interested in a confederation, of course. We join a military alliance with them. We'll just propose the offer.
I suppose.
Okay, there we go. Do our best to help them out, but we've still got to get rid of the Druki. The Druki are definitely target priority number 1. And I'm gonna... It would give us a Pyrrhic victory at the moment, which would allow me to keep all my forces, but I'm gonna wait another turn or two. This could be smart, could be risky, depends on what happens. When I say it could be smart, it could be good if no reinforcements show up and I get a better fight or auto-resolve against Lokir. And it could be very risky in the sense that a whole other army of Druki could show up, and then I could end up having to face both of them in a win-or-die scenario, which would, of course, turn out very poorly for me. So it's a bit of a risk-reward situation going on there right now, with the potential to pay off or the potential to leave me screwed. At Nanli, I'm going to put in some Yang growth here. There we go. Because we're balanced slightly in the yen right now. And that'll give me a little bit of... Well, actually, we need the barracks there. My bad. I mean, we don't have to have a barracks here, but I do think it would be good to have it to be able to recruit at Nanli. We'll eventually tear down the growth buildings and switch those over into income once we get tier 5 at Nangao. Alright, I think that's probably most all that we need to do now. I'm going to probably go ahead and build up the garrison here, though, to the cannon emplacements. And heck, we've come this far, let's just go ahead and spend the money there. I'm not going to build the outpost right now with the ogres, that seems risky and not super useful. Let's end our turn and hope for the best here. So what we're hoping is the Skaven won't spot our ambush, and we're also hoping that Lokir does not get reinforcements. And both of those are not necessarily highly likely to occur. And I appreciate the comments. I had a couple comments on the last episode. People were saying how long they've been watching the videos and how much they appreciate this. Even some folks who've never commented before. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. I really do. That makes my day to read stuff. I appreciate the kind words, and of course it makes me very happy to know that people are enjoying these, and so in that case, I like making them. So again, appreciate it. I'm going to keep making this for you. I'm having a lot of fun with this campaign. I want to see it through. So I'm going to be trying to record it near daily, or as best my schedule allows, would probably be the better way to say it. We're now down to medium casualties here. And I'm going to take it because I don't want to fight all these shades, and medium casualties sounds pretty good. The last thing I'm going to do, though, is I'm just going to continue the siege. I just want to take one last look at the campaign map here and make sure I don't see any Druki reinforcements headed my way. I do not.
Witness my power.
Doesn't mean they're not there. But like, for instance, if we win this, we get really beat up, and then they show up with 2 armies and trap us while we're trying to replenish. Again, a very real risk. We get a lot of money from sacking this, but I'm just going to occupy it because that means it's a fairly large settlement. We've now balanced the harmonies, but we have at least one Yang building on the way. So we might want a Yin building in its place, so I'll go ahead and... I think we have one more Yang building, or maybe they completed. That one's just upgrading, so we've already got its effects. Nothing building there. Nothing building there. Actually, I think it's just balanced at the moment, which is good. So I'm going to end up messing up the balance through this process, but let's go ahead and get the salt, because I am the heir of salt, and then we'll build a building for protection. That will throw our balance off, but kind of necessary. Kind of necessary. I think we want to go ahead... Do want to build this. I'm just worried about it getting attacked while I'm going to be away, but the more we build it, the trickier it makes it. The Skaven are within range to attack. If they run away, I won't be able to stop them, so I hope they don't run away. Let's see if we can kill them. This would be a big win. It would give us some cash, give us some experience. They are going to run away. That's really frustrating.
I am the pride of all Cathay.
And I'm not able to get back into a stance. I hate this when the AI sends armies and then won't fight you when they come. It's just irritating because it's called Total War, not Total Flee. But the Skaven are going to skid or flee away. So that is quite unfortunate. Let's build some defense there. We need to build Wei Jin as well. So we're going to be a little low on money, but our income is shooting up, at least at the moment. We've got to keep the momentum going. We can't lose momentum. Looks like Brother took settlement there, so that's good. I don't see any Skaven armies right on his doorstep. Grimgor is getting ever closer to our brother, though. He's captured the Maw Gate, so we need to kill this Skaven army and then help come finish the Skaven down here and get our focus on Grimgor, because we are not going to be able to stay safe with Grimgor there. Okay, as far as skill points goes for Alchemist, this one has built up quite nicely of increased mobility. Let's see, range discipline is probably good. And let's see, we've got skill points for Miao Ying. I'm going to finish Unyielding, and then I'm going to grab Rally, and then I'll be able to do Fast Hands, which will again make our crossbows that much more deadly. Look, we've got 200 range, and their damage is going to go up even higher for anything that's rank 7 or above. Our Jade Warriors are also becoming extremely strong. I mean that 52 melee defense is bananas. Like, that's really good. And then weapon strength of 48 is also bananas. So those guys are getting pretty tough, and that's good. We need them to be, because remember, Cathay, they do have high-tier infantry, but they don't have shields, and so you pay a price. And so getting our Jade Warriors ranked way up is good, because then we might be able to just supplement that army, and then we'll be able to see hero capacity for Astromancers, recruit rank, melee attack for Yang armies. We do have a couple of Yang armies. That actually would be pretty good. It's going to throw 3 into the Yang harmony, so we'll have to go the other direction afterwards in terms of research and buildings to kind of balance it back the other way. So we'll figure that one out. We'll try to stay in balance as best we can. It's not going to be perfect, but we'll have a pretty good chance. Let's go ahead and end another turn here. I need to get those Skaven settlements cleared out up in the mountains. Alright, so this Skaven army fleed away from me, attacked Nan Li, and honestly would probably win, but the auto-resolve's giving it to me, so I would say rest in peace, but I don't really care if the rats rest in peace, and I intend to... I'm just going to execute the captives. I just want them dead. It's not going to let us win this auto-resolve. This is back at the city of Shugingen. That's the one that the Druki captured. Now the Skaven have turned around and come right back to it. But since we cleaned up that Skaven army, should be able to take care of a couple other things here. I'm gonna look at my options for responding to that Skaven assault. We have 2 options. The army at the wall is one. Then we have the other on the other side of our territory that could potentially be used. Let's make this defensive alliance. Okay. I need to get another caravan, but honestly, right now, with Grimgor in control of this area, caravans are just... they're not likely to succeed unless we head off in a different direction that does not go through Grimgor's territory, because we're not going to survive being in Grimgor's territory. We just hit Yang Harmony of +1. I'm going to go ahead and let that research complete, and then we'll just counterbalance it the other direction, because it's important research. So, let's see. So, options. So that army is dead. I kind of want to keep this army at the wall. I don't want to suddenly lose one of these wall settlements, and it's going to cost me a lot. So I think what I'm going to do is make a beeline for Mingzhu, take it, and then go to the city of Shugengen. Wei Jin is probably safe from the Skaven. Like, I've got a decent garrison there. And that Skaven army didn't look overly challenging. We're going to have a problem here, though. They got a big black art full of troops. It looks like they're trying to recruit another army. My replenishment at the Jade River Delta is kind of slow right now, to be honest.
Storm Dragon.
It's going to take a couple of turns. I wonder if it's faster if we're out of that territory.
A great
I think it's this territory making it slow. Nope, it's just slow in general right now for some reason. Huh. Usually I've seen her troops replenish quicker than that. It may be because we had buildings in the vicinity that were helping out. Alright, well, we're going to have to stay garrisoned, unfortunately, and waste time replenishing slowly here. That's really irritating. That is really irritating. We were replenishing quicker than that for sure previously. I'm wondering whether I should...
Celestial ancestors.
I should just pull that army off the wall and double team these guys. Of course, I'd hate for an army to show up at the wall and get us all of a sudden. Let's just end our turn here.
Though your empires meet
What's up,
your
Gestalten?
people have
Trade agreement sounds great, actually. I like this. Speaking of, we could go look at the quick deals, too, and see if there's any other low-hanging fruit out there in terms of trade agreements. Okay, so the turn ends. There's numerous Skaven armies visible to us. Man, having that caravan's nice because it's a big infusion of cash
ready to defend.
every so many turns, and it's really nice to have. So both of these settlements are within this.
My mother would approve. The storm.
Our replenishment goes down hard when we leave the settlement, even when we're in an encamped stance. I don't know what it is with this province, but it is having a big impact on our ability to replenish. Really quite frustrating. It could be some effect from the Druki as well. I don't know. We're certain.
Wherever Cathay needs me.
That looks like it's a Skaven settlement because the corruption's rising. Alright, our main settlements over here at Wei Jin and Haishai appear to be pretty safe.
Natural.
Though I have considered, I think I don't see a massive threat at the gates for the moment. So I'm considering whether
Child of the Nine.
I think I'm gonna go ahead and take this army down here
Redouble your speed.
for a couple of turns.
Within my reach.
Yeah, we're doing pretty darn good money-wise. So I'm gonna go ahead and pull this army from the wall for a couple of turns. Come assault the Skaven full on, because we need to make a breakthrough here, because again, Grimgor is going to be in our lands very soon. Oh, look at this. There's an army of chaos headed towards our lands too, so we've got to get our focus on, and we've got to get it there quick. So we could find ourselves in a challenging situation here pretty quickly. Outpost available, compass selection available. let's go ahead and activate this. So anybody in our territory is going to suffer attrition for a number of turns, and then let's go back to our compass, and let's use the compass to continue to... I want to decrease the threat. Great Bastion threat, active when direction set. Yep, I want to reduce the Great Bastion threat. It also gives us a Celestial Intervention, which is a very nice army ability. Causes big damage to blobs. Big damage. If we keep pushing, take some more territory, get some more trade agreements, we might be able to have yet another army, leaving 3 to go do my will and 1 on the wall.
Dragon's wisdom or strength.
Defensive alliance, that seems relevant. Okay. They're going to be trying to get me to come to war against Nakai. Almost certainly.
Warden of the Great.
It looks like replenishment kind of popped back up a little here. I'm going to go ahead and take this army on the road. We're going to be... Yeah, see, all of a sudden replenishment is up. It must have been a temporary effect that was cooling replenishment. We have allies near Fuchao as well. I mean, I would rather control the settlement myself. If they take it, though, whatever. You know, it gives me something to hold out against Druki. The Druki are becoming kind of bottled up. The problem is once we kill them, they're still going to have the Black Arcs. That's going to be a little annoying. There are 2 Skaven stacks in the vicinity here.
There is merit in this.
This army should be pretty powerful, though. Let's go ahead.
Celestial ancestors.
Alright, there's a small Skaven settlement here.
In perfect harmony.
Occupy.
Shall it consume last leader?
Alright. Let's go ahead and do our skill up here. Let's go with the full-on Curse of the Midnight Wind. I wish I knew a little bit more about what kind of armies these have. I mean, if these are all just crappy, you know, just really crappy units, I'm tempted to just go ahead and take this fight. However, if one of these stacks has like a significant number of dangerous units, that could be bad. So I think what I'm going to do instead is look for the best ambush spot along here. Here's a pretty good ambush spot right there. We'll move in, enter an ambush which covers this road right here. Maybe see if we get lucky and catch one of those Skaven armies headed out and about.
The celestial Miao.
We can't reach that settlement regardless on this turn in, so we might as well end. Alright, our allies might take that one ahead of us though. But again, that's fine, it's not the end of the world. I do think I'm going to go ahead and build this Bastion goal here, which lowers the attrition from the waste. Then we can go to a tier 4 wall settlement here, and I'd like to do that because it increases the garrison. Wei Jin's 1 turn away from being upgraded as well, so good progress so far. Let's hope for a good outcome against these Skaven armies. If they see me, they're probably all going to attack me, and again, I don't know whether I should really be scared there. We caught him in an ambush, and it is one of the full armies, so this is a great opportunity for us to just nuke this army into the dirt, and then take the others. Alright, we're going to be defending the escape point. I do wish that CA would change these battles. Like, I'm okay with there being an escape point. They don't necessarily have to take that out of the game. What I don't like is that the AI just goes full bulldozer for the escape point and doesn't even really attempt to, you know, try and make a smart decision about how to fight the battle. So it just becomes very easy to game the AI on these maps. Now, is that okay? I mean, like, it's not bad for the player, right? It's probably a good thing for the player because it allows you to whip the AI even worse than you already would have. I've got my cavalry units hidden up here in the woods. I'm going to ambush those slingers and stuff as they make their way down here. I'm trying to get some good shots on the enemy leader here. He's gonna get obstructed. I don't have a good character for fighting these. I can bring up my Celestial Dragon Guard, though, and help take those guys out. Otherwise, I mean, our infantry should hold the line just fine against this Skaven infantry. They're trying to make it to the escape point, and they're not going to make it to the escape point.
Sent by dragons.
Let's push all these units up. It looks like they did some magic or summoned on my units, I guess. I don't know exactly which one. My magic is pretty crappy right now. I don't have anything good. Alright, let's bring our cavalry out of hiding. We're gonna spring it. I wish I had better capability in terms of magic. We will soon. We're not going to at the moment. Take the tigers into there. Alright, so I've got my crossbows kind of cross-firing into this fight, which is looking really good for me at the moment. We've got them held on the other flank. There's really nowhere for the AI to go. And my Celestial Dragon Guard have the middle held up, and there's no way that their chieftain is fighting his way through that. They do have some warp fire throwers moving up that I'm going to get on top of. And our speedy units are having an impact here. I got a rear charge in with the Jade Lances. The Tigers are involved. Now the Tigers have anti-infantry bonus and armor, and so they will shred up infantry formations that are low armor. Well, I mean, even decent armor they would shred up. They just don't have a lot of survivability, so as long as what they're fighting doesn't have a considerable attack capability, it'll be better. I don't know what makes my units back up here. I don't remember. Maybe I clicked an order before they got in position or something. That might make sense. Alright, my Crane Gunners were picking at that fight. Let's bring our cavalry in and rear charge. Try and finish this. Throw the cats in here as well. There's not much left for the AI here. And then they're going to lose their army because it's an ambush. They won't survive. See the Celestial Dragon Guard here. A lot of kills. Their leader is getting chewed up, that chieftain. And their assassin here, tough character. Our Dragon-Blooded Shugengen, I was just kind of avoiding the fight because these Skaven characters are tough. They're not weak characters. They are not weak. I'll bet our cavalry got a pretty decent number of kills. Yeah, both of them did. That armored cavalry is going to be fairly tough for the Skaven to negotiate. Alright, that should be about it, folks. I'm gonna maybe kill their leader with my missile units here just for fun. There's a lot of weird terrain on this map, though, so it may be difficult for my units to get line of sight. It sounded like some kind of bomb going off. I was curious what that was. Yeah, my guys don't have line of sight. Let's just go ahead and end the battle. Okay, I mean, that was still a very solid victory for us. We can take the replenishment, get all of our troops back up to the fighting position, which we're going to do because there's other enemy armies around, but that was an excellent victory. That army won't get away. The rest of the Skaven did not attack me, which means they likely fell back into their own territory, which is fine, because we're going to keep pushing that way and push these guys back. Plus, as we capture this territory, it's just going to give us more money. Now this is fortunate. The Puppets of Misrule here have a large army behind me, and again, the auto-resolve is going to give me a victory that I just don't think we deserve, but it's a victory that I will gladly take. We got some good money out of it as well, so Wing Chang, kudos to you. So they pushed back that big army from the Puppets of Misrule. So again, another excellent outcome for us. This ally of ours is actually doing a pretty good job policing this area outside the gate. I'm going to try and keep them busy on that. We are now at a Yang balance of +4, so let's go over into our research and find something to counter it a bit. So this would give us +1 and then another 3, so we'll go ahead and just go down this line here. These are nice upgrades for our infantry. So there we go. We're going to take our settlement back. And the Skaven armies are scattered. Alright, Alright, this is adding to our treasury. We need, which is good, because we don't have a caravan right now. I could make another one. If you all really think I should, you can tell me how I might be able to make use of it. But for me, the biggest concern why I haven't so far is that I feel confident it's just going to get killed by the greenskins. This is kind of a risk to push this far into enemy territory because we don't know what we're going to find here. There are a lot of Skaven. Oh, look at this. The Skaven are teamed up with the greenskins. It's a walled settlement, so we're going to start building up forces and continue the siege. I've got nearby army to reinforce on the next turn or so. However, the Skaven might show up with the reinforcements and attack me. If they attack me outside the city, though, I feel pretty safe. Like, their army's pretty craptacular. So I'm not super worried about it. I'm going to go ahead and put more upgrades on our troops because, again, we need our troops to be reliable in combat. They are looking pretty reliable, so at this point I can probably start focusing a little more on the magic prowess of our dragon-blooded Shugengin. Wei Jin has finished upgrading. This is going to give us access to some nice stuff. Extra growth and extra harmony plus 1 yen. It'd be cool to have all these buildings. Honestly, some of them aren't that good, though. Like, the Celestial Court is pretty good, plus 2 faction-wide. Diplomatic relations with Skaven. I don't know if this is worth it. I mean, it'd be good locally. The growth would help a tiny bit faction-wide. I wish that income thing was faction-wide, too, because that feels a little weak. As far as other options, like what we could build, we've already got growth. We honestly don't need a ton of military buildings at the moment. This would unlock another alchemist, which that honestly would probably be pretty handy because we do need secondary heroes for the armies that we have rolling around. And then let's take a look at... I mean, some extra income isn't going to hurt anything either. I may not keep this building long term. We just don't have a big need of, you know, heavy military recruitment out of that settlement at the moment. Wei Jin, what does its defenses look like? Wei Jin is pretty well defended, so I'm not going to get overboard spending there. Our allies took this settlement. That's kind of a win for us. Their Black Ark, I can't get to it easily, and fighting it on the sea would honestly be a little bit suicidal.
I will make my father proud.
So I'm going to push this direction and try and take Chimay, because we're starting to gain control of the Jade River Delta as well. This is good news. It looks like the walls are kind of closing in here on the Skaven and the Druki, and like I said, not a moment too soon, because Grimgor is just on an utter rampage right now. And oh look, here's Kolek.
You dare to barter with me? I have broken
He's at war with
every
Grimgor.
promise.
Okay, that actually works in our favor. That is an absolutely idiotic, moronic decision by Kolek to be at war with Grimgor. I mean, that is utter foolishness. I wonder if anybody's interested in a confederation. No. Burning Winds nomads are not that far off, though. I mean, they're still a ways off. But, it's an interesting one.
Or worse, our fortunes are intertwined.
Yeah, so let's go back over here to non-aggression packs. Nothing really available, but we can get some nice trade agreements here. A military alliance makes sense here as well. Then let's just balance out the offer. That should give me a little bit of cash. Although some part of me doesn't really want to take any cash off these factions, but they seem to be doing okay. It actually pulled us a slightly closer to Confederation. Let's see, the Border Princes.
Greetings.
Like they would take a trade agreement from us.
As you say, sir.
I like that. We may not be the Empire, like how they're selling themselves short the instant you get into negotiations. The Dissenter Lords are not terribly interested.
This encounter is pointless folly.
What happens if I balance? How much do I gotta give them? 715. Alright, let's just go ahead and do it, because it'll help start to improve our relations. They are at war with brothers, so I probably shouldn't have done that, but...
Lord Magistrate.
Military access, defensive alliance, military alliance. Okay. East trees. No, okay, alright, just good to know what's kind of going around us in terms of what deals are available. We're back up at the max threat to the Great Bastion. We do have all the gates tied down, and I'm trying to reduce the threat to the Great Bastion, but it's not going to happen. Our income is up nicely, considering that we have a lot of armies out and about. It's pretty much, we do have a commandment available to us as well. Where was that? It's not at the gates, not there. It looks like here at the Imperial Road. So we took this back, so let's get control. Now we should be able to end our turn. So a little lighter on the battles this time, but excellent progress nonetheless. We're starting to gain solid control of Cathay. And the Druki here have attacked me. They have some massive Black Arc support. They got Dark Conduit, Bolt of Spite, Kane's Scourge. I mean, they are sitting on a ton of abilities, and the auto-resolve really likes my chances here. They're going to cause a fair bit of damage to me just with the bombardments alone. So I am tempted to just take the auto-resolve here because, I mean, it's probably not going to be a whole lot better for me to fight. I'm going to go ahead and take the cash off these guys. We are in enemy territory, so we're not going to replenish on this turn in, which is unfortunate. I should have stopped just a hair shorter. Alright, so the Skaven want to fight back. They brought in reinforcements. I mean, at face value, these Skaven armies do not look very scary. They're very weak units. However, there's a couple of things that we need to keep in mind here. One is that this character has Warp Lightning. And every time that spell is cast, you're going to lose anywhere from 25 to 40% of your unit, depending on how hard it hits it. They have Vermintide summons, and they've got it 6 times, which is not going to... And then they've also got this Eshin Clanstone, which is going to cause damage to my units. And then this guy also has Warp Lightning. So the Warp Lightning alone could take, and this may sound stupid to some of y'all, but it's absolutely true, just the 2 of these characters having Warp Lightning might take my army down health-wise like almost 30 or 40% if they use it long enough, and they will. So this actually concerns me a great deal because it's going to make my otherwise superior troops be weakened prior to fighting, and this army is not particularly strong. So we are going to have to retreat here. They're likely to follow and attack me. I say likely, it's not a guarantee, but they might. They did not in this case, so all we need to do is just get our 2 armies together, and we'll be able to take them there, but it would be very risky to fight that battle with just that one army. It's possible I could win, but I honestly don't think we would. And I say that mostly just in the sense that don't underestimate Warp Lightning. Warp Lightning is extremely dangerous, especially in the hands of a high-level AI character. They'll get to use it a dozen times or more in the battle, and it will be almost impossible for you to dodge, and every time it hits you, it will cause tremendous damage. Just absolutely tremendous damage. Alright, so we took Chimay, however that is. Great Bastion attack imminent at the Snake Gate. Snake Gate is well defended, so I don't mind. Is there like an occupy target? Defend target, the Snake Gate. I think if we just tell him to attack here, it'd be fine. Oh, we get the Green Guardian Terracotta Sentinel. That's the one with the missile, where he reflects the missiles back.
I stand apart.
Oh, that's going to be good. So which unit do I want to give up for the Green Guardian? So we have 7 crossbows. It's an odd number. The crossbows are our main damage component. I have 8 infantry, and effectively the Terracotta Sentinel can kind of take the place of an infantry, but I think it really more replaces a crossbow unit. And the reason I say that is because it's a damage dealer, whereas the infantry hold. I think it would be worthwhile to put the Jolly Green Giant in this army It gives me a lot more melee capability and a unit that causes terror. And then that Missile Reflect is a really cool ability where if we go get them close to things, we can have them kill themselves. So that would be pretty entertaining.
Warden of the Great Bastion.
Okay. Let's go ahead and do Fast Hands. This would give leadership, defense, and spell resistance for all of our infantry. Which honestly could be good as well, because, you know, Warp Lightning being what it is, having a little spell resistance is not going to hurt anything. Alright, let's see. Metal Shielding, Glittering Robe. Might as well just throw these into, like, Gehenna's Hounds and then Glittering Robe. Alright, so we have taken all the territory off of the Druki. They still have a Black Ark, though, so they're not extinct as a faction, and they could come back looking for us. And, you know, very possibly will. We're about ready to end this episode here. My army fled down the mountain a little here. There's a Skaven army here that won't be able to get away from us. So I'm going to go ahead and attack it.
Witness their demise.
Okay, so that Skaven army's toast. And that is going to...
Execution is the only answer.
Ooh, we got a potion of healing there.
Celestial
That's a nice grab. Good, they've already got it. Armor of Fortune here too. Let's make sure we throw on some of these. Talisman of Preservation too is really good. So there we go. Talisman of Protection. I don't think we have an arcane casting item. Do not. Okay. Alright. We can get more heroes to put in those armies eventually as well. At the moment, we're not really dying for it. You know, it's not an absolute requirement. It's looking good. Like, the enemies of Cathay are dropping rapidly. However, Grimgor has entered the room. And the Ogre settlement is no doubt going to be in his way. And then, of course, the loyal, or what do you call it, the Dissenter Lords are going to also be in the way. Manly is not going to be able to fight him back, and neither would Nangao at the moment. However, those places are going to be able to put up some fight, and then we should be about to free our characters here. I could potentially bypass these Skaven, but that's not really what we want to do. Ultimately, I mean, I could bypass them and go after their heads, but we could also end up getting trapped behind their lines in a bad situation. So I'm just going to move around and come back around for another pass, and then we'll bring this army up, and we'll pincer the Skaven at Kunlan with 2 armies. I think that's going to be the way to go. So I'm feeling pretty good about things at the moment. We're looking pretty safe. And yeah, I mean, we got a good win here with Miao Ying, so we've gotten rid of the Druki. We're going to be able to take Miao Ying after those Skaven settlements now as well. So this is going to give us a fairly safe zone to operate from. I only have 2 concerns really, is Kolek, because that dude is a monster, literally. And then Grimgor. The war with Kolek is obviously taking some toll on him. And that's good. I don't know how many... He's got 15 settlements still. Let's see, I wonder what Kolek's sitting on. Only 5, but they're causing some damage. I wonder who's strength rank 1. We don't know who strength rank 1 is. The Caravan of Roses is pretty powerful right now. And they're going to be an enemy to us, except for Brothers trading with them, so that's interesting. Warhost of the Apocalypse under Archaon is fairly strong, it looks like, at the moment. Clan Angren, Grimgor's Ardboys have quite a bit of territory there. Sylvania. Alright, good to know kind of who the big powers are. I think we had a successful episode. I hope you all enjoyed it. I'll be back with more soon. HeirofCarthage, signing out.